Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on this new For Honor video. My name is Ocandersis, and today I will present to you my Kensei tutorial guide. Since the previous video on the Warden tutorial has done so well, I know, it's not that much, but I'm a small channel, okay? Since the previous video on the Warden tutorial has done so well, today we're gonna talk about the Kensei. The tutorial will be divided in two parts. The first part is gonna be in-depth looking at the Kensei moveset, and the second part is going to be suggestions and tips on the playstyles and how to approach the fights when you're playing as the Kensei. The Kensei is supposed to be a balanced character, because it is figured out in the three Vanguard heroes. However, the Kensei is not a straightforward character and requires a lot of experience with it before starting to be correctly played. The maximum exposure of his power shows up when you master all of his chained combos, and you know what to feint and when. It's one of the hardest heroes to master, but when you finally get there, it will pay you off. Kensei's sprinting attack is fair good. While doing it, the Kensei will lunge forward, performing a great slash from right to left in front of him. It doesn't have good tracking, but its good range will give you the chance to hit people who try to dodge it on the right most of the times. It's okay to engage combat with your enemy, however, keep in mind that although it comes out pretty fast, his wind-up time is slightly longer than other sprinting attacks. For this reason, you will have bad time trying to trade with other characters' sprinting attacks, like for example the Warden, since they will be faster and they will hit you during the wind-up. Also, since the Kensei with his moves covers a lot of ground, you will find yourself rarely in the situation to use the sprinting attack for re-engage fighting, since there are many better options. Keep also in mind that it always comes from the same side, and due to the long wind-up can be read and blocked or even parried easily from experienced players. Kensei's side light attacks have a very long wind-up and are extremely slow to be light attacks. This makes them easy to parry, and in general they are not good at all when you need to approach in neutral stance. At the point that it's just better to throw out an heavy attack if you really need to. At least you will deal more damage. However, they shines a lot more during dodges. Kensei is in fact the only Vanguard hero with dash side attacks. They are very fast, covers a lot of ground, and they will give you the opportunity to attack while avoiding enemies' attacks, and so they will hit the opponents during their recovery time. Also, attacking while dodging will cover your ass from guard breaks, and it will deal damage. Last but not least, they come from the opposite direction of your dash. This is great to confuse enemies since they will try to block in the direction you are dashing, but your attack will actually come from the opposite side. If correctly used, this technique will lead you to the victory against any character. What do you want more? Kensei Top Light is the fastest attack you have in your moveset. It covers a fair amount of distance, it's always guaranteed after a successful parry, and in addition to that, all of the Kensei light and heavy attacks can chain without needing to be landed, so you can use this to your advantage, baiting approach the enemy. The second hit of the 3-hit light combo is always a thrust, and it's pretty confusing when you see it coming. It covers a lot of space and is extremely fast. The top light attack can also be chained after a forward dash. This will be an even faster top light attack called M-Splitter. This move can caught enemies easily off guard. It covers a good distance and it's very good for interrupting basically everything. It always comes from the top and for this reason can be read from your opponent, but if you know when to use it, it will pay you off. Top heavy attack is one of the best Kensei's attack. It's always guaranteed after a guard break, has good range, connect with that landing, and it's used at the end of every combo to initiate top heavy finisher, which is unblockable. Although it's very slow and pretty parryable and dodgeable, has very good potential when you know what you're doing. The unblockable top finisher can also be cancelled as any other normal heavy attack by pressing circle, or you can cancel it into a side heavy finisher which is uninterruptible simply by inputting another direction and pressing the heavy attack button again during the wind up of the animation. This is great to confuse those enemies that will try to dodge or even parry the top heavy finisher and punish them. Kensei side heavy attacks is pretty average. It's always guaranteed after a guard break, and it's a good break, it's fainted. Also, if it's performed at the end of a combo, it will be uninterruptible. Can be chained after a top heavy finisher to feint it into a side heavy finisher. Kensei guard break is pretty average in general, but it has some unique features for this character. It covers a fair normal distance. It's guaranteed after parrying a light attack, but not always after parrying an heavy attack. It counts as a first hit of the combo, so if you attack after a guard break, you will throw out the second chain of any combo, either light or heavy. Throwing people around with a Kensei after a guard break will always stun them, and the throwing will count as a second hit of a combo. In this way, you can guard break someone, throw them against a wall, and perform a guaranteed top heavy finisher on them. The Kensei is the only character who can also chain a guard break after a dash forward. This is great to close the distance and take the enemy by surprise, cause most of the time they weren't expecting it coming. Kensei's zone attack is risky, but it can pay you off very well if the enemy fall for it. It's a delayed move that can confuse the enemy, screwing their time. This move hits twice. At the start of the animation, Kensei will perform a slow and weak turning slash, then for a second, he will charge the next attack, and then will perform a spinning attack from left to right with good range. During the last parts of the animation, you will have hyper armor. This means that you won't be interrupted even if hit by the enemy. Which is actually what you're looking for, because if they try to hit you, the zone attack will land due to its long range. It will deal consistent damage when hit in full. It can also be cancelled after the first part as any other attack to feint it into something else. However, as many other zone attack, it has its weakness. First, it costs half of your stamina bar, like every other zone attack. Due to its long delay, it's very easy to be blocked or even parried if the enemy expects it. And if it gets blocked, the enemy will have a free guard break. Also cannot be used as a last resource, since while performing it in a good 90% of the times, the enemy will hit you. So before using it, you need to be sure to have the necessary health to take at least one light attack. It's a very strategical move that you need to know how to use. In general, it's something that you want to use to surprise your enemy after a long fight, and not something that you want to use every now and then, like the Warden of the Orochi zone attack, that are both much faster and unpredictable. Alright, now that we know the moves, we can pass to the next section. Tips and playstyle. The Kensei is a distance character who relies a lot on his capability to move out of enemy range while keeping pressure onto his opponent, using the space between them as an advantage. In fact, his range is second only to the Nobushi into the entire game. His power is based into the combo chains that he can perform and on his powerful top heavy finisher. When you play as Kensei, you need to remember always that spacing is your best ally in the fight. You need to know how far you are from the opponent, you need to know if your attacks can reach him, and you need to be able to judge in the blink of an eye if it's better to start a combo from far away with a bait, feint an attack for performing a parry, or if it's better to close the distance quickly for a guard break. You need to play in a touch and go style without giving the opportunity to your enemy to get close. At the start of each fight, or when you are in neutral stance, you always need to be very careful, since every attack of Kensei has a very long wind up and is predictable and easily parryable. You can't just go there and approach in a straightforward way, you need to play smart. Start the fight spending your time avoiding entering the enemy's area directly. Take advantage of your fast dash attack, just poke in and go back to safety immediately after. Abuse of your side dash attack, because they are very good, to avoid attack and deal damage. Make your opponent impatient and frustrated. You don't need to attack them during the start of your fight, you just need to stress them. When they will start approaching in a more aggressive way will be the moment in which you need to start parrying. After a successful parry, you can always follow up with a guaranteed top light attack for initiate your combo, or, depending from the situation, you can go for a guard break. Then everything is left to your judgment. If you parry close to a wall, try to guard break them, throw them against it, and when they will be stunned from the collision, destroy them with your top heavy finisher. If you parry in an open space, go for the guaranteed light attack and start a new combo from it. If you are in neutral stance but the range is too close, start feinting. Try to stress them up, force them to make mistakes, and take advantage by parrying or guard break them once they do it. Do not forget that in 90% of the case, you can use your side dash attack to go out from the trouble if you don't like the current flow of the fight, or just roll away and reset the situation. Taking space is always good when you have a character that can cover half of the battlefield with a single combo chain. Try always something new, do not let the enemy identify your favorite combos. Just keep confusing them, keep the distance, take them by surprise, and the victory will be yours. Overall, the Kensei is a very difficult character to master, but once you done it, you will be a much better player that you could have been without mastering him. So that's it for this Kensei tutorial guide. I hope you find it helpful, guys. Leave me a comment and tell me what you did like or you didn't like from my tutorial, and let me know, I always appreciate your feedbacks. Please leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel for more For Honor videos and tutorials, because they are coming. And, as always, I'll see you into the next video. Feel the rainbow.